Welcome to the Golden Feather. Grab a pint, a plate, and pick your seats. Your hosts Vertek and Chibi Bree are back from their latest adventures.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Golden Feather. Today is the 29th of April, 2022, and we're here with Obviously Eventful with our guest, Obviously Grim. So, you being so very obviously Grim, how are you today?
Oh man, just living life, loving what I do.
Hey, that's a good way to be. It's a good way to be.
Yes, it is.
And as always, co-host, partner in life, and podcast here is the lovely Chibi Bree. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Fantastic. It's been a good day.
It has been. I would also like to let everybody know we've had a hectic day. Though it has been good, it's been hectic because this next week we're going to be going on a vacation for a week long, seeing some fam, which means there's not going to be any stream next Friday. Just a heads up. But that's okay because we'll have this stream that you can rewatch if you miss it, or if you just miss us.
Yeah, if you just really want to hear our voice, just come on back and replay it. It'll be here.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously Grim is obviously excited about some obviously eventful ashes.
Everything is so obvious, I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's so obvious.
I knew I should have changed my name before I came on here.
No, we like to play puns with our guests. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
No, we like to play puns with our guest names, so yours just fits really well. So,
Yeah.
we're gonna play it up.
Yep.
But so for those who have not bumped into your name, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, where you came from, what you're most excited about with Ashes?
Oh man. Mm-hmm. So I recently just got into making some Ashes content. I started out doing some content for Mortal Online 2, probably not the most popular game, but it got me views and I was happy playing it for a bit. So there's that. But Ashes of Curation, man, I came into Ashes probably the end of 2019, 2020, right as the COVID was hitting. So I got to watch a ton of content with that, and I just kind of fell in love with the entire just philosophy that Intrepid and Steven uses. And it's just, yeah, it's an amazing little game that, well, should be amazing, that is, because it's not out yet. But I got to be part of Alpha 1 and see where it's going with Alpha 2. As far as what I'm excited about for it, just the the emphasis on, unique player, like, I don't even know how to describe it. It allows you to be unique. Like, there are player classes, all 64 of them that you can do. It's not going to be that like normal, you see one tank, you've seen them all kind of thing happening that you would see with meta. And that's really what I like about it.
Yeah, that's fair. So as somebody who played Alpha 1, what was your favorite part of playing Alpha 1, and what is your least favorite part of playing Alpha 1?
Man, that is a very good question. Probably my least favorite thing was a lot of the KOSing going on. It just kind of ruined that for me, because I would be going around doing something that was just immediate. I'm just going to attack you because I don't have anything else to do. A lot of people who don't really do a lot of testing. I've noticed they were doing that. Like, this was their first test, and there was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So let's just test out the combat system, which wasn't even fully fleshed out yet. But my favorite part about it, I don't really have one thing. Like, coming from, I actually used to be a game tester right out of high school, so I got to really see a lot of that. So it was a lot of what I was expecting. A lot of just bare bones. And for me, testing a game, like my favorite thing is trying to break things in games. Like, that's what I came up doing. I would try and break the game and figure out, this, if I do this is going to happen. And this isn't supposed to happen, but it's kind of fun to do it anyway. So yeah, that was my favorite part. It's just trying to break the system.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Welcome, Avarat. Thank you. Tier 3. I super appreciate it. But 5 months
gosh.
also. Thank you. Seriously.
You're the real hero.
Yeah. We have some emotes and stuff that are still being worked on, and I'm gonna absolutely make sure that there's a tier 3 in there for you, at the very least. Thank you so much, and we love your support and the fact that you're coming and hanging out in our little chat every time you can. So,
yeah, much appreciated. Much appreciated.
Also, I'm gonna test this just because I thought this would be funny, and Dante is a troll, so.
Uh-oh.
My favorite part was when someone used castigation on me. Really brought out the closet masochist in me.
Oh no. Wow.
And by the way, that's the new feature that Vertec worked so very hard on today to make sure that it works well. Yes, Dante has always been a troll. Speaking of Dante, you want to know what my experience was in Alpha 1 Grim? It was Dante coming up behind us as we died and looting our bodies.
Yeah,
very nice.
Pretty much. We ran as a big party, and every time somebody died, that was the first thing he did. He could be in mid-swing attacking something, he would turn and loot a body, and then run back to attacking whatever it was.
Yeah, that's kind of my experience when I'm in parties. Is literally I'll be doing something like I need help, and he's just like, "Yeah, I got you. Just let me grab these coins really quick off this body," and then I die, and then he comes and grabs the coins off my body too.
Yep. As they do.
And Avarat, we appreciate you guys coming in and giving us your opinions and thoughts. We really couldn't do it without the literal community, because we're a community podcast. So without you guys, we're really nothing. I'm safe into Alpha 2. Yes, exactly. Avarat.
Oh my goodness, Avarat.
Goodness. Welcome into the what was it that we were calling them? I forgot at the moment. Regulars, I think is what we called them. Welcome into being a regular to Vomit, Peter, Godlike, nice. Red Beard, I like your name. Gruntag and Rivan. Welcome in.
Gruntag. Yeah, we're still kind of working on what to call people, to be honest, because regulars just fits in with Twitch's normal, you're a regular.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, there's, okay, so how about patrons? You're a patron for a tavern, right? But then that might sound like we're trying to be Patreon, and it's weird. So I don't know. We're still kind of weighing in on what to
figure out mine. Mine is Happy Little Souls.
I love
obviously
it.
Grim Happy Little Souls. It took me a while to figure that out, which is kind of dumb considering my name is obviously Grim. You would think that I'd be collecting souls, but it took me a year. So I feel you, man.
I appreciate it.
All right. We'll dial into something.
I like that. Happy Little Souls. I appreciate that as a name. Okay, so Ash has dumped a lot of information on us.
As always.
As always, you know. But before we get into all of that, you said golden plumes. Oh, I like that, Lizuki. I'll add that to the list of ideas.
Yeah, put that in there.
You said you recently started making videos for Ashes on YouTube and everything.
Yeah. Yes.
So what kind of content?
In.
Okay. What kind of content do you plan to make as things get more regular?
So I initially started wanting to do something similar to what you guys are doing, except not really podcast format, just kind of people coming in, maybe playing a game together and just chatting away about it. But what I got into YouTube doing was actually like, how-to videos. Like if you want to do this, here's a great way of doing it, which got some hateful comments like you shouldn't be telling people about this stuff in the game because then it ruins this for me. But I do enjoy doing that stuff. I've always loved helping people, no matter what it was, like even, just helping an old lady across the road. I've always loved helping people. That's what I want to do. So most likely there's going to be some content around that. Maybe a little let's play, like, hey, community gets to decide I'm going to be this race, this class, and they get to choose exactly where I'm going as I progress, which I thought would be pretty cool as well.
I would suggest maybe having like a mod in chat to constantly run like 1 minute polls for you.
Yes.
To keep things kind of flowing nicely, because that could be fun too. Like get some like predefined ideas. But like, okay, chat, and like as you're asking, having like a mod real quick, like straight up for you. But yeah, exactly. Like that was my viewpoint, Lizuki, was, you know, honestly, as somebody who was playing World of Warcraft and struggling to figure out how to heal, I used to look up guides because that would help me. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And then I'd look up a guide afterwards and be like, okay, that's how they're going about it, you know? So it's super helpful, and I really appreciate guides and helpful tips and stuff like that. And honestly, it's a YouTube channel and video, so like they could just not watch it if they don't want to watch it.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I might have gotten some hateful comments, but you know, all the happy little souls out there that are with me, man, they just jumped right on that guy, and I was like, no, let's not attack people. You know, he has a right to his opinion. It's wrong.
Calling you happy little souls.
Yes.
Not scrappy little souls. Come on.
Scrappy little souls.
Exactly.
I like it. That's fair.
All right. So,
This
all right, well, that's been our episode, guys.
It is. Now, I do gotta say, I noticed on your little avatar guy, you actually have like a shotgun with a scythe on the tip of it, and I got a real kick out of that, because all I saw was a scythe for the longest time. And then I saw the zoom in.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. And the chair's like, no.
Now, believe it or not, that actually is a skull that I drew ages ago that I just started piecing together. What I do, like I mentioned that I did graphic design, but really what I do is photo manipulation, because I'm a photographer. That's what I've done for many years. So that's when I went to school for graphic design. I ended up just doing a bunch of photo manipulation. So his legs are actually my legs kneeling down that I pieced together some camo on. And that actually isn't a cloak. That's actually a ghillie suit that I made with a buddy of mine who was an ex-Marine that we just did a bunch of airsoft together when he came back. So yeah, that's just edited picture of me with a drawing as a face.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I like it.
It's the best way to go about it.
Hey, Cash, welcome
hey there,
in.
Cash. Hello. And Aberrat, by the way. So I guess it's a good thing we got him on as a guest, because now we can have the collision of communities here. See, look at that.
Indeed. Pardon me.
Cash, thank you for the resub. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Cash Kush sub. I like it. Well, how do you? Okay, actually, I'm going to add this. This is a perfect question to actually add to the queue. So I will add that for us to come back to later. What Abra asked.
Oh, okay. Let's do it. Yeah,
we have a new little feature, Abra. So. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we took a page out of some other people's books, totally copied their homework, and yeah. So now we have a little live real-time notebook. We can just click a little chat, and it'll save it for later.
Is it copying if they copied it first?
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah. That's what I told
copy. The copy gets worse every time, right? Well,
why do I get the impression like when you go to like the graveyards and you have to take that piece of chalk or whatever and like smudge it to get the transference, but then if you were to do that on another piece of paper, it would just be just chalk. You wouldn't get the words anymore. I feel like that's the progression of like copying somebody else's work to where like in the end it just makes zero sense.
Just
like that old game telephone.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Okay, so somebody asked, hello, Redbeard, welcome in. Nice to see you in chat. One thing that kind of made me interested, and for those of you that know me, I'm not interested in PvP, but Grim, what is your perspective on PvP? Do you like it? Do you not like it?
Me, I'm all about balance. So if it was straight PvE in a game, I would get so bored. But I've always been the type of person that one day I'm going to be out fighting other people, and then the next day I'm going to be, inside my little tavern as a necromancer making food for people. That's questionable. Like I like a good combination. And that's one of the things I really like about Ashes is they're planning on making it so PvP is prevalent, but there's also going to be PvE aspects.
That makes sense. Yep.
Yeah,
now
it's
my
all gonna be tied in.
question. Sorry. Yeah.
That's all I was going to say is it's all going to be tied in really nicely. So you can't really fully do one without experiencing any of the other.
Yeah. And that's honestly like, it's a very good relationship to have, especially for people who are coming straight from a PvE perspective. They're going to be able to actually get that PvE or PvX. Let's call it that PvX like feel. And maybe they'll actually jump over into doing some PvP. It's.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I was going to ask, what do you think about the PvP battleground things? The stuff that may lead up to sieges, or the fact that it's going to be capture points and like other timed objectives. What are your thoughts on that? Oh no, I think Grim froze.
I think so.
Oh no!
Bom, bom, bom.
Miss my face is not real. Karthos.
Uh-oh. Hopefully it pops back in.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Right now it looks like we have a cardboard guest.
Yes. We have a cardboard cutout, obviously.
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 Nope,
Okay,
totally
they just
lost
popped out. Don't forget you can rearrange Zoom video to fix.
Once he pops back in.
Yeah, the guest is totally not real. I made them up. They're a figment of my imagination. I'm sorry for tricking you all. I was just practicing astral projection with giving a different personification to the astral projection. That's what that was. The VTubers are getting really good.
It's a C-tuber for cardboard. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You guys, Vertex neck, yeah. It's looking real pretty today, isn't it?
Yeah, he shaved. He shaved for you guys.
I'm almost scared to adjust the thing, because then he's gonna pop in. You know what? I'll go ahead and see if I can. I'm
chatting with him currently on Discord. Got the forehead. How do you like my forehead?
There we go. Yeah, we just got your ears. And then we got a Z over in the far side.
Boop. Oh no! Okay, the power just randomly went out for him. It's back on now. They're just waiting for the router to reconnect.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna do a temporary adjustment here.
Yeah, sorry if you guys heard that. That just felt really good though. Did you guys see my question on the stream got answered? I personally did not, but I also personally did not get a chance to actually watch the stream. I am being very thankful for Tech's in-depth note-taking so that I can see what was going on in note format, because I have been very busy and I had to take a dog to go get groomed, and then I had to go back and pick up said dog. And yeah, and then I had a meeting in the middle of the stream. So yeah, what'd you ask? Good question. What'd you ask? Not shadow banned from questions after all. Why do I see me? Because our guest went poof.
Because you're
now
always
that I see Z, I need to ask the question. No,
No.
Rip. Lost power last night during stream, then 2 more times after. Sad day. Weather going crazy all over. Yeah, indeed. I'm sorry. By the way, Red Beard, it's nice to know that you are super in disguise.
Can we do this?
Thank you, Karthos, but no thank you. I will politely decline. Yeah, Karthos is offering their sister had a baby. So
there you go. I'll just move that up here for right now. Well, I'll move you back after.
So why the change to Redbeard? Captain Redbeard. Super.
Whatever. Oh no. Double Vertec, double the fun, absolutely. It's my favorite commercial. Well, that works. So, how's everybody out there been doing? Another one. Oh, no. I'm gonna go back to this one. No, I think all the changes that we've done to the audio on this setup, I haven't made the same changes on. There we go. I haven't made the same changes on the 2-person one.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's been a while.
I was muted. Okay. And here comes Grim.
Okay. And now I get to adjust it again. Yay.
Yeah, Vertec was going to say, it's been a while since we used the 2-person stream, so some of the updates that we've done on the 3-person stream have not reflected properly.
All right. There we go. You guys able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Perfect. Sorry about that, everyone. Apparently Thor got mad and zapped one of the power stations, I guess.
Thor was like, no, thanks.
Something like that.
You have been denied power.
We were keeping chat entertained, so wanted to break away from Super and just came up with Redbeard. I like it, Redbeard. Sounds good.
That's okay. You're still super to us.
You're super incognito. I like my own joke. I amuse myself. So now as we get back on topic here, and now that the power is done being, a jerk.
That's just Florida weather, man.
Yeah, we were asking about the PvP thing.
Yeah, so I really think a lot of people that I've spoken to about the game be like, I don't know, man, it sounds like there's going to be a lot of PvP. And I'm like, you know what? You haven't really done much of it. So maybe, just maybe, we're going to see some people coming in and actually realizing that PvP isn't a bad thing if it's done properly.
Yeah, I'm always scared of being ganked.
So am I.
So I'm excited for the capture points and the timed objective options because then it feels more controlled and it's not so random. Like I'm prepared to be in PvP versus being randomly ganked. I guess it's like a mood thing. I had to be like in the mood for it kind of thing.
Yeah, I've when I was watching the live stream today, I noticed some things that Steven was saying. I'm like, this definitely could be used to just troll people or grief people. But if it's done properly, it's not a bad thing. And that's the real thing about PvP that you got to realize. It can be done properly and it can be fun and rewarding.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome in, Eclipsion Haze. Welcome to the Tavern. I hope you enjoy your stay, adventure. Okay, so I'm going to use this nifty little thing. Unless Vertec would like to make a comment on PvP before changing topics.
No, I think I'm good. PvP is going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. There's going to be a lot of stuff, and we're probably going to talk about it later anyways. We're talking about the live stream things. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, this is about the live stream thing too, kind of. Abra wants to know, how do you think the studio will make testing available and effective while making sure they don't let all the secrets of the game out early?
Ooh. Honestly, testing, when you're testing things, they're going to be releasing some content during those testing phases. Like when I was, I mentioned this before, I was a game tester right out of high school. That was one of the first things I did. Not to mention the gas station. That was technically my first job, but I don't like to talk about the gas station. I like to talk about the testing. And what they did is they just released very specific content at specific times because that's what they're going to be doing. They're trying to test certain systems in the game. So they're probably not going to end up releasing everything at once. Not even when the game's released, you're still going to get updates. So
yeah,
I don't think it's possible.
That's fair. I think I remember chatting about this with Vertec before about like them blocking out certain parts of the word or just putting like jumbling in there.
Yeah, there's I think my take on it is going to be that they're probably going to, and this is also in reference to something Stephen was talking about today, how there's going to be one of the questions and answers was there are going to be both regional and overarching quest lines that are going to cover, you know, from the landing in the world all the way through like introducing main players in the world and all that, and go into raid bosses and such. But there's also going to be regional, and I have a feeling that during the alphas they're definitely going to be keeping the overarching story out of it. And I have a feeling with just Steven being the way Steven is, they might release some of the lower tier overarching story in like the first beta, and then they might release some more of the overarching story in beta 2 with the hey, there's some serious spoilers in here.
Yeah.
I think it was the last stream, he said that he wants to hold all of that tight to his chest, but he's come to realize that to test it and make sure it's going to work properly, they have to release it before the game actually launches.
Yeah, and I also... Sorry. Especially they're going to have...
Oh, especially if they're going to have a public alpha 2 out there just constantly running. It's going to get out there.
Yeah, it's going to be persistent. I remember that much.
Yeah, and I like what Redbeard said. It's smart to stagger content for testing. You know what, let me just do this. Just for people maybe watching on mute. It's smart to stagger content for testing, release in cycles to get testers to come back, because tester drop off will be a thing, just like live games, right?
Yeah.
Where everybody's excited about the new content, and then they burn through the new content and they just kind of drop off. And then the people that haven't gotten to it yet might pop in later, you know? Aw, thank you, Redbeard. Also, welcome in, Grumpy Guy. I'm gonna guess you have chicken.
Always. We have chicken waiting for us for after the stream, and that's not even a fib, that's for serious.
Yeah.
But Redbeard, what time you streaming? Maybe we'll
indeed.
Drop off some kids at the Redbeard Play Park when we're all done here, when we wrap up.
Definitely did see that in A1 though.
I like that he just like, yeah, man, I'm gonna promote your stream just right now randomly. I like that.
Hey.
We do 25 minutes. Okay. Eat fried chicken during the live stream. Date night with Mrs. Redbeard. Ah, cute, cute. But yeah, what else we got? PvP
there's plenty in there.
Oh, there is.
PvP
there
stuff.
Certainly is. Ranch simulator, nice. Better than dropping kids off at the pool.
It's true. But yeah, I like the since we kind of touched on it for a quick second there, the PvP battlegrounds. I like how there's going to be requirements to send people off to different areas to do stuff because they're timed or like they need to be done simultaneously. I like that they're planning that you kind of have to, and if you don't, it's going to not be optimal to just zerg all through one map, just starting here and going from A to Z.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's going to be really interesting considering most of the MMOs I've played are like, okay, this is what you got to do. You go here and you're done. But you actually have to be strategic about it, which is really interesting to me.
Yeah, I like the fact that there's a little bit of strategy there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I saw chat. So Gabos.
Yeah.
Gabos.
So just a little video in case people haven't seen it. There was a little video playing in the background during part of the stream, and it was really great because they had, and I wish they had the video up on YouTube so I could spotlight it real quick. Maybe I'll try and pull it up on Twitch here in a minute. But they had little gobos running around, and just their movements were really nice and natural, and I'm hoping that was like a in-game actual footage, you know, Ghost GM just kind of floating around taking the footage and recording it, because it looked pretty great. It was a little invasion of goblins.
Yeah, I really like how you mentioned that depending on your actions in that area, your goblins could be completely different. Like they can actually change, they can learn, they can develop. And I really found that just great, because I was just thinking in my head when he was mentioning that you have to have you have to actually respond to these things. Otherwise, they're going to actually grow and become more of a nuisance. And I was thinking, you know what? If I don't like the way this node is being developed and I want it to start over, I could take my group of people and prevent people from screwing with this event to make it so that event goes worse. And then there's going to be buildings destroyed. I know that can be confused with trolling, but I promise you, it's a good tactic. I promise you. I'm not a troll.
Hey,
Not
babe,
often,
welcome
not often.
in.
Doing it.
Right. At least not yet. We were chatting, I think, earlier about being the possibility of turning into a Gabo for a monster coin.
Oh, yes. Monster coins. That is something I'm really excited for.
I
wanna be
can't
a
wait to get
goblin,
more
but
info
you can't
on
play
that.
goblin.
Yeah.
Like with a monster coin, you might be able to play a goblin.
That'd be kind of cool, right? Like, we were actually also talking about, I know this is totally a wish list item and probably will never happen, but what if you could change the way your monster looks right before a monster raid? Because it's going to be like an event thing. So like there's like a little time ticker where you could be a monster event previously, like for 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes to make your character, your monster look a certain way.
So
If you
like
could do that
you're
with
going to end up
Gabo.
in this event with your makeup half done because you ran out of
Yeah.
time?
I think that'd be more you.
Yeah, that would be, because I love to just sit there and create. I'm going to spend hours in the character creator. I really will.
I'm very excited for that. Character creator.
Alright, so I'm
let's
slowly
go.
getting the Twitch thing pulled up here. Trying to
Oh,
find me some
good.
time
I'm
marks
just-
here.
I'm talking off topic a little bit on purpose. I think they talked about with the goblins being AI. I think they had mentioned something about them being able, like the enemies, being able to be AI before. And I was just remarking previously how it would be so cool if like you fought them using this thing and they're like, oh, well, this is how I learned and adapted to that. And
Yeah.
that was like the next hard mode.
And that's honestly, I think that's needed in a video game, having smart AI that actually knows what they're doing. Like in Mortal Online 2, like they could actually parry you. So they'll like start swinging from one side and then they'll actually just switch halfway through because you're blocking on that side now. And you really need smart AI like that to actually be able to learn and look like the world is actually lived in rather than just a random NPC that's going to walk back and forth a bunch.
Yeah, I agree.
There we go. Alright, there's that Gabo vid. Mwahaha.
Yay, Gabovid. I like Gabovid.
Yeah, it just it kind of showed him rating a node, and yeah, the AI thing you were talking about. He's. I think it's really cool that they're thinking that deep into it. Like make the AI capable of constantly thinking and updating itself instead of just take an action and then think of the next thing to do, or think of this and put that in the queue of the next thing to do and then the next thing to do, and it's just a series of queues. Instead, it's going to constantly be reevaluating what's going on. Like it could be attacking and trying to move to keep up with you, but then something else happens and they realize they gotta like jump ahead in a different direction to cut you off at the pass or something.
Yeah, they were mentioning
sounds like
that
they're going pretty deep.
they'll go after specific defenses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basil says that those goblins make their druid heart happy. All the vines and leaves on them.
Yeah, the little shaman guy there.
Oh yeah, the shaman guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always been one of my favorite playable classes, the shaman. Look at that mask.
Right?
Fantastic.
Ashes of Nair also says notice the details on them too, like the tufts of hair on the ears. Pretty crazy. Most players won't see that if they aren't zoomed in all the way, kind of thing.
Yeah, that was a detail that I happened to see in the video because somebody pointed it out, and I couldn't stop seeing all the random small little things that they added in that most people won't notice, but those who do, it's going to stand out and be a fantastic thing to exist.
Yeah. And Abarat says, I am greatly encouraged when I hear Steven talk about complexity of systems they are building. Like the AI system being as complex as it could be. It is very exciting because having a game, for one, being something that is node driven and therefore player driven versus static, like here's Orgrimmar. Orgrimmar is always here. This is always a major city. Having like, well, this was the major city last week, and now Winstead is, and it's nice having that change of just interacting, and with these interacting to players as well in the AI, it makes the world feel alive, I guess, a little bit more.
It really speaks for the replayability of it too. Like you were mentioning, like player drop off. I really don't see that happening for too long. Like you're going to see some players leave for, a week to 2 weeks and then come back, and then everything's going to be changed.
There we go. I made the chat a little bit bigger. Looks like it was pretty small.
Oh, the little pop-up thing?
Yeah, the new little pop-up thing. So yeah, guys, that's totally new today. So trying to make some adjustments on the fly as we're using it.
We'll be tweaking it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I can use Oracle the Whites thing. What were you gonna say?
I was basically just in agreement. Like, there's a lot of really cool stuff they're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Goblo's playable race.
When?
Yeah.
I don't know if they're ever gonna do that, but if they do, I'm probably gonna end up being a goblin for a bit. What races are you guys actually planning on playing?
Pyre.
I had you pegged for an elf. I did. I had you pegged. The moment you started talking, I'm like, she's an elf. But Vec, though, that's honestly going to be what I'm thinking about doing.
Yeah, Vec.
I love the whole little history behind Vecs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really unique, and I really dig that. I really dig that.
Yeah. Oracle the White says, I love the vassal node info, which is a good switch over to that topic because we're talking about, races and stuff. And I know that they shared information about environment art on Pyrite housing and such. But the vassal node info specifically.
So you're talking...
They said in regards to freehold houses.
Okay, so yeah, you can get the certificate to place a freehold, and how you can. I thought it was really cool. You can kind of decide if you want to have that freehold make you a citizen of the vassal node or the parent node that it's attached to. I kind of dig that. I thought that was a really cool.
That's one thing I was worried about, actually. Is like, I love this area, but I don't necessarily want to be on that specific node or with that specific node. But if the parent node in that area is something I enjoy better, then yeah, I think that's actually really great. Because I am the type of person I'm very aesthetically drawn to things. Like if I'm going to build in a house, I want it to be in an area that I actually like to look at. It's like art in your house. You don't want to be looking at something you don't want to look at. So, but if you're stuck to like this node and this is the node you really like, you like the people that are running it and you want to support them. Yeah, I think that's actually really great.
Yeah, I also really like how with the changing the way that the node layouts work, being able to maintain the appearance of freeholds and the buildings and the player housing on nodes. I think that's pretty cool. I think Vertec and I have talked about making a freehold and then making it look like a tavern kind of thing for the Golden Feather.
Absolutely.
Cool. Unfortunately, you're going to be my competition because I'm going to be running a tavern as well.
Oh, yeah?
Although, technically, it's going to be a cafe. It's going to be called the Happy Little Souls Cafe. All right?
Well, there you go. How about we take a page from Tiny Tina's Wonderlands and it'll be a co-opetition.
Co-opetition. I love it.
Yes.
Okay, here's something I'm excited for. They're adding new weapons to see how they work.
Yeah, but they're not going to show us that yet.
No, but it's still exciting because we only had X amount.
he said that in the live stream. He's like, yeah, we're gonna have this, but I can't get into it right now. But we're gonna be doing this. I just can't talk about it. And why are you mentioning it, Steven? Just keep digging the hole and let us know.
Yeah.
I know I took down a note on that. And what specifically was that? Because he started to get really excited and like, yeah, they've been working on this really cool thing and I can't talk at all about it, but it's great and it's been making a lot of progress. Thank you.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, that was it. That was all that was really said.
That's,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Completed their first milestone of the year. Can't talk about it, but we hit it.
Yes, that's it. Yes. Thanks, Steven.
All right. Thank you.
I'm glad the milestone was hit. Yeah.
Don't know what the milestone was, but it sounds good. It sounds really great.
Yeah. Also, welcome in, Foofsy, to the tavern. Welcome in, adventure. Okay, so I'm kind of excited that they're making, because I'm more crafting because I like PvE stuff, right? So they're making gathering to be more dynamic rather than like spawning resources in like specific locations, which will help. One with the hogging of resources, because like, oh, I know this is where this node is gonna spawn, so I'm gonna just sit here and camp it. And for 2, I like that it'll change with the player activity in the area.
Yeah, that's one, like, it just harkens back to the whole like unique servers that Steven is always talking about, which is something I really hope that they are able to pull off, especially with like, people who do post videos about like meta in game, like, hey, this is how you're supposed to do this. Like, what happens if like the Metropolis nodes are, there's one node that is specifically better for defense, and it's going to make it so it's really hard to take that down. So people are always going to want to have like a scientific node, let's say that. And then you're going to have a bunch of scientific metropolises. So it's something I really hope that they are able to do that very well, because then, like you said, they'll have like all of that. Yeah.
Sorry.
What?
Thank you, Averhat.
Uh-oh.
Holy mackerel.
The 10 gifted subs. What the heck?
I don't even think we have a heart emote big enough for this.
No, we don't. Right. Yes, please make sure to thank the gifter. Please do. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Goodness.
Dang.
I'm speechless. I don't even know what to say.
Look, we appreciate your company.
Aww.
That's super nice. We enjoy you just being here, but this is just over the top and amazing.
Yeah,
much appreciated.
Thank you. Super appreciate it. We have some really fun stuff in the works, and I hope you guys are as excited as we are for it. And we can't wait to announce it, but we can't until at least June. So close, but so far away.
Yeah. June/July, you're gonna see some really cool stuff, and you're really hoping that happens.
Just pulled the Steven.
We did.
I'm
There's
excited,
something really cool in development. Yeah. Something really cool in development. Can't tell you about it yet, but it'll come out soon.
Yeah. Aw, thank you. Super appreciate it, Averhat. Plus, I want to game with you folks. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And I think I am super excited. Do you have Alpha 2 access?
I do.
Because that would be super fun to like set up a stream and like get a couple of us together to play Alpha 2 together.
Oh, I'm definitely game.
And I know I want to at least do 1, maybe 2 of those with the community in the Discord and just get everybody who has access or doesn't have access and then streaming so people can see what everybody's up to. I think that'd be super fun. Because again, we said this during Alpha 1, and I don't know if you have not the same opinion necessarily, but a agreement on the opinion, but it's that we experience the game one way, and I know that you can't necessarily get a complete feel for the game unless you play it, but there's certain things that you can at least pick up on that you can, as a viewer, that you may miss as a player, because there's so many things that you're paying attention to as a player that there's just some stuff you're just like, wait, what?
Yeah, I actually get that a lot. Like, I've been doing things in a video and I won't really notice it. Like I did this stream where I was like, okay, this is going to be a hardcore survival challenge. And I had somebody in the comments like yelling at me like, hey, you missed this one thing that would have helped you. Like that happens
like, wait, what?
all
when?
the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. When?
Oh lordy, oh lordy.
But Ashes. Well, welcome in, Wrecked Machine. Yeah, Wrecked Machine. My mind couldn't decide if that was machine or machiney.
Machina. I'm the machine.
Machina. I love that.
Very good stand-up act.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you for catching that reference. That's fantastic.
So,
one of my favorite comedians, man.
What did I miss about Node superpowers? Because I missed that.
He was just talking about things that they've been working on. That was a very brief section saying like they've been working on service buildings and relics and node superpowers, node progression, and how they impact vassals and how it all spiderwebs out amongst them all.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, I was trying to say thank you, and then the keyboard decided to just put TH. That's it.
Stop, bro. Stop.
But sorry, you were saying
relics are going to be really interesting, especially if it, like Stephen, he's very much into like, okay, you know, you're going to be able to have this unique item, and other players might not be able to have that. So are relics going to act the same way? Because if so, those are going to be like hard fought for.
I'm very interested in seeing how that ends up, like progressing. There's so many things that they talked about that this just sounds really fun, and it sounds like it's going to be, for the most part, some things probably not, for the most part, prepared for Alpha 2.
No.
Okay, Oracle, you don't enjoy that, but I hope it gets done soon. I don't want to say enjoy that because that's not something anybody should enjoy. Taxes are the worst, man.
Oof.
Okay. This one sounds really cool. So going back to the AI conversation, creatures building up a hate list and attacking certain node facilities.
Yeah. So like the way he was explaining that sounded to me like, okay, they're going to attack, you know, this time, and maybe, you know, a specific defensive building was good at defending against them. So maybe they learn to attack that building.
They're like, I don't like you. We're going to down with
maybe,
you.
You know, they were getting killed by a mage, so they're going to just start going after the mages first. Something like that, like learning AI.
Yeah. Like trying to figure out exactly what's going to be the best way to hurt you.
Exactly.
Yeah. For some reason, my mind popped in with the some goblin tribe got annoyed at the sound of the blacksmith the blacksmith building going tink, tink, tink all night, and just
and that's what woke them up in the forest.
You in particular. Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing. That is amazing. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. And that actually goes in line with, like, as you develop, certain creatures are going to come out of the forest and start getting mad because you're developing. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Like in the movie, the Beowulf movie, like that was back in 2004. Maybe I'm dating myself here, but like the monster in the mountain got mad at all the noise that Beowulf and his party members getting really loud because they were celebrating, and he came down. He was just like, ah, and just started destroying everything. Yeah.
Explosion.
Oh gosh, I love it. It's funny. But yeah. Ooh, also, this is very old kind of, but also the fact that they're bringing it up again, the fact that like certain things need to transpire before events can transpire. So I think the age-old one being like the node leveling up and then the dragon kind of coming out of the mountain or something.
One of the first like node videos.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting you mentioned forest fires also.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. That was an interesting
dynamic world events
specification.
like that are going to be huge.
Yeah.
It kind of worries me a little bit though. Like Steven is like, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. Like, how do you plan on getting all that done? I mean, I know they just hired like 20 some odd people and they're like at like 130 and they're planning on being at 170 employees by the end of the year.
Yeah, and the plague. Like the plague, yeah. Abarat says, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to add on more stuff, but go ahead, bring up. Chat's
okay, Abarat says, I think this might be the most exciting thing about the game, as long as it feels real rather than predictable. And that's kind of what I was going to say. What if there's like a random dice generator that is like, okay, and a weather event is going to happen in this area, be it flooding, hurricane, forest fire, blizzard, I don't know. And kind of have like the parent decision maker on like what the current season is and then the things that can happen during that season. So you're not getting a blizzard during the summer randomly kind of thing.
Yeah. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Steven is a D&D player at heart, right? So the dice rolling system definitely seems possible. And the way he talks, it's going to be kind of like that because he wants it to be natural feeling.
Right. Exactly. Sorry, I didn't mean for you to not put your input in. I was interested in seeing what you were gonna say.
All good. No, I was gonna say the thing with the events and whatnot. Talked about blizzards.
Yes.
And how some of those events are going to be things that just happen. It's not going to be like a pop-up notification saying, hey, there's an event going on. Do you want to participate? No, you're going to hear... The thing that really stood out that he didn't really go into detail on was you might hear some trees just crashing down in the forest and no idea why, because it's not a typical sound. And then he just moved right on, like, to the next thing.
Yeah, and that's actually an interesting note, too, because one of the things that I always disliked about MMOs is having, like, those pop-up notifications that kind of ruin the immersion. Like if you're just out chopping a tree and all of a sudden you're hearing other trees falling around you, you're like, oh Lord, what kind of big monster's doing this?
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't my tree that just fell down. It sounded like there was 3 trees. What's going on?
Yeah. Like it's the natural like response alert that that kind of comes out. And I like that it says if you don't stop doing X, then something like impacted creatures or the environment would respond. And perhaps that environment is the blizzard or maybe a flooding environment situation that happens.
Could you just imagine you over deforest an area and then mudslide as you're chopping down a tree, you're getting taken away by a mudslide? That'd be amazing.
That would be funny. I would like to have that happen to me on stream so I could clip that, please.
Slide just clobbers you.
Vera, take me away.
What is that sound?
Oh, jeez. I also, you mentioned something about the notifications, and that there's opt-in messages and stuff. So, you were just talking about like the trees crashing down, which is not normal in that area, but like it's also not always text-based. Apparently.
Yeah, because like for the caravans and such, they had mentioned before that it was going to be when you're in the area for a caravan, you get the pop-up saying, hey, there's a caravan, do you want to defend, attack, or not participate? Hey, there's going to be a siege happening here, do you want to defend, attack, or ignore? But outside of those notifications, you just got to pay attention to the environment, which is what I was mentioning with the like the trees falling down nearby in the forest, and there might be a blizzard nearby, and if you don't figure out what's causing it and get it taken care of, it could start locking up trade routes, it could kill plants in the area, and that might spawn other events like monster raids and whatnot.
Yeah. Sorry, Dante is over there being a little gremlin about having a new friend. I have a new friend.
New friend, yay!
Okay, what do you think of what Ashes and Nair is saying? I really hope they don't get too soft on the negative consequences of ignoring events, because they end up being pretty pointless then. Like they have to hurt for real.
Yeah, I actually completely agree with that. There has to be consequences. There has to be. Otherwise, what is the point? There's no reason to go to this event if it's not going to actually affect you. Like, I might lose, 2 or 3 crops off my bottom line, but, I'm still going to have the majority of the harvest. No, I mean, that crop blight has to take out the entire crop if it's going to be spreading, right? Like, that's how blight works.
Right. I like that they said that if you don't answer in time, the event could spread to regional events.
Yeah, that's really cool, and that's where I think the hope that they're not going to go too soft on it is kind of assuaged, because if they're going to code into the system that if you don't deal with a threat, it expands from your local node to, say, the next node and the next node, and then suddenly becomes a regional thing where it's impacting 15, 16 nodes all together. That just means that, you better take care of it real quick, unless you're really trying to let it build to be an apocalyptic, might destroy you and your neighbors type event. Which, might be somebody's goal.
I might do that just because I want to experience it once, but...
yeah. Dude, guys, don't kill the dragon. Stop killing the dragon. Stop killing the dragon.
Yeah.
We need to spawn the third dragon.
Like, you're defending the dragon as it's trying to eat you because you want it to get worse.
Yeah. We need the grandpa dragon to come out.
Goodness.
Leave my pet alone.
Truly, welcome in. Nice seeing you in chat. But also, Truly says people don't like deep progress, so it's a balance, which is fair. Because Abra also says we also need to be careful of too many consequences, because the world is full of very fragile people.
Very true.
So, yeah, keeping that balance is very important, I think.
Yeah, I did mention that before. I am very much about balance. You don't want to go too harsh on people. I agree with that 100%. At the same time, though, I do want my grandpa dragon. So
yeah,
I want the grandpa dragon.
Must be grandpa dragon. But yeah, maybe the consequences will be widespread, but you'll be able to, I guess, travel outside of them if you're just trying to quest or whatnot. But at the same time, maybe it won't crush a node, but it will absolutely cripple it to the point where it's just not financially being profitable in any way, because you keep having to dump more resources into it, so you don't necessarily lose progress on something. The node doesn't get destroyed by a monster raid, but it may be set back financially for a good month or two.
Yeah.
Gotta go back out and start hunting and rebuild the blacksmith and rebuild the nursery and rebuild the this and rebuild the that, because you let it all get destroyed by watching it and waiting for that third dragon to spawn.
Yeah, I think I mentioned this before. It might be an interesting way to actually see how you can affect a node that you don't like by preventing them from doing those events or completing those events.
I'm gonna defend this dragon so that you can't kill it, and then next thing you know, your own node ends up also
there goes my freehold. You weren't supposed to attack that guy. I was helping you. What are you doing, dragon?
Friday I can keep them. Fantastic.
So Ashes of Nair was saying losing XP and stuff upon death will quickly weed out a lot of the most fragile people of the game. Which I may or may not be weeded out. I don't think I'm like super fragile. It's what do I want out of the game, you know? I think if it's Alpha 1 level of XP loss, no thanks. But if it's balanced to be much better, where like, it kind of should have a line. So for example, when I was testing stuff, I had no idea what this did. And it was like, do you want to drink the liquid? And I was like, sure, let's drink the liquid. What happens? 20% plus was a bit brutal.
Yeah.
But
That's what testing's for, though.
Exactly. There's that too. But if I want to drink the liquid, because I'm like, what does this do? And I didn't know it's poison. And then I die. I feel like that should be like enough of don't do that maybe. But then to drink the liquid, suddenly die, not knowing why I died. It was just very fast because I was very small level. But then also get 20% plus XP debt on top of that. I was just like, oof. And that's how I ended up level 5, negative a lot of XP and just faster to just make a new character.
I am
because I didn't do it once,
that.
I did it twice. Because the first time I didn't realize that's what did it.
Oh no!
The first time I didn't know it did it. I thought an enemy killed me because there's other people that were fighting.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
And so I was like, maybe I just died from an enemy, and I was like, well, I didn't get to see what drinking this did, and then it killed me. I was like, oh, that killed me last time.
That's what did it.
It wasn't an arrow. It was
that's
the
what
liquid.
It did. Yeah.
No, that makes sense. I mean, they do need to balance it out, but if you don't have that negative debt, then what's going to end up happening when people decide to come over and say, I just want to grief you? Like the griefers do need something. So that system, I think, is very fair. And plus, you don't want people not being afraid of dying, because then nobody's going to actually take part in any sort of PvP or defending themselves. So it does all kind of go in line with Steven's vision of a PDX game. But you're absolutely right. It does need to be balanced.
Yeah.
You can't blame Alpha 1 for their 20%. Like they needed to see if that was okay.
I don't blame it. Yeah, I don't blame it. I was just saying, as long as it's not that intense, I should probably be okay. But I'll also see how bad it actually is. Like when they have it balanced out and working, I'll by then I'll be like testing behind the scenes and everything. So like before the game launches, I should have a pretty good idea of if that system is going to bother me or not. Just because I do die a lot.
So do I, actually. So do I.
Yeah. I'm kind of almost hoping that
you guys heard it here first. Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, don't drink the Kool-Aid.
I'm kind of hoping it was just a decimal error and it was supposed to be a 2% loss and not 20.
Yeah.
2%.
I can't see why it would be 20. I can't see why it would.
I could see if you die 50 times, you're going to have to start over on that level and just start from the ground up.
Yeah. Zay the King, welcome in. Just have Vertex stand ready to loot you. Thanks, Nair. Thanks. Appreciate it.
I'm sorry. Absolutely. I believe in not stealing somebody's job, and I think Dante has spoken for that one. So, until he retires, I'm okay waiting.
I think Ashes and Nair was referring to that way I didn't have to lose all my stuff and you can give it back to me.
That's fair. Dante would probably keep some of it. I don't know what you're talking about with it. What'd you say it was? A helmet? No, I don't see any I don't see anything like that in my bag. I got some boots. Oh, you had plate, not I don't have any plate boots. I got these leather. You can have these. I would see that being
okay, fine. I'll loot you. We're not looting me.
I don't have your helmet, but I got this Kool-Aid you can drink.
Oh no, I'm good.
I've got this vial.
Kool-Aid. I'm good.
Looks delicious though.
Badoo. I grave rob and I get punished for it the rest of my life. Indiana Jones doesn't get friggin' academic tenure.
It's true. I think it's all about how you look in that hat.
That's fair.
You may not look as dashing.
Ooh, I was just gonna say that looks like there's some pretty cool environment art that they were going at around the 47 minute mark ish.
Yeah, you might like it. Let me see if I can pull that up here for you.
Yeah, weren't they showing like the season changing with that? Or are you
definitely
talking about
not poison? Thank you, Cash Kush. Yeah, they have the pirate housing. There's the Ayla ruins, the origins of the Kalar and the Valoon. Then seasonal technology sounds interesting. Mount art, just all the art. I'm just an art fan, honestly. Just all the art.
Yeah, the horse they shown was actually really interesting.
forgot about the hat. Freaking loved the tree.
Good night, Abra.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. And the season change with the tree. Nate. Okay, sorry. I think I hear a cat.
Should be coming up here any moment. I think it's in like a second or two.
Sorry.
We'll get the Pyre housing coming up.
Yeah.
You get to see how they've integrated it into the world around it.
Very excited because I remember them talking about how they're gonna do that. Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah, like they did a lot of interesting things. Like it's a weird cross between like a mushroom and like a hillside. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
There we go.
I always love that kind of organic look.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh man, Twitch, I hate you. I can't pause it without putting a giant symbol in the middle of the screen.
Yeah, that's okay.
No, that's part of the environment.
It's very pretty. Yeah, exactly. The pause. It's
It's a shadow from the giant triangle-shaped clouds up there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's what happens there.
Totally a variant feature.
Reminds me of the Telvanni in Morrowind.
Oh my gosh, one of my favorite games of all time.
I've never played Morrowind.
Pretty much been like one of the most awarded games ever, and held in people's mind for the longest time. Like it was getting amazing ratings. I think like 10 years after it was put out or something.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it was updated, and like the player base just kept updating it. That's what really beautiful thing about that player base for Elder Scrolls is they are very hardcore with their mods.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's not what this podcast is about. About Ashes. What am I
Not today.
about?
Not today.
Yeah, not today. But yeah, some of these are really pretty.
Speed this back up a little bit here. Is the thing with the season technology? They did say that was another thing, that it's not ready for this stream. Maybe the next stream.
Fingers crossed.
We'll be able to see a demonstration of exactly how the season technology works. I'm guessing they'll probably cycle through some stuff like, watch, we're going to go into this season and that season and watch what happens when.
Yeah, do we have any information on what that seasonal technology is?
No, I don't know.
It is code in a computer is about all I know.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Weird elf housing is okay. Yeah, well, you know what? It's my world. Weird elf housing, Lizzie. And I love it because I'm weird. Hi, welcome in. Glad to see you be able to catch us. Finally, with your work schedule and everything.
Yeah, and the Ayla ruins, by the way, are just these things that we saw around in Alpha 1, by the way. They're left over from
they look pretty, though.
The origin race.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wish I could just like take over one of those ruins and actually like live in it and just be some weird wizard hermit. Because that's kind of how I play. I'm definitely not like a normal. Yeah, I'm not like a normal. I don't want to live in a city. I really don't.
Yeah. I want to live outside of a primary node, so that I don't have to worry about being sieged as badly.
Yeah, there you go. That's some of the season stuff. They showed the same hillside with the one tree sitting there, and just a couple still images of a bunch of different seasons.
Very pretty. Very, very.
It is going to be interesting to see how like the colder winter months affect the trade in cities. Was that your cat I heard?
Yeah.
I honestly thought it was mine. I was about to open up my door.
She's yelling at me at the moment. Yeah, only at night. Or when she wants something. Which I'm about to give her a treat and hope that satisfies her. And she hears me giving her a treat, so she's getting louder. Meow. How about you come up here to get it? You gonna come show your face? Come on.
So Grim, while she's summoning the cat demon, Did anything stand out particularly extra interesting for you today? Anything outside of what we've talked about? Obviously, I suppose.
I think we really went over everything that that I really found interesting. You know what? I did write some notes. All right, I got some notes written down.
Oh yeah,
That is definitely the script for my next video, not my notes.
So, just you heard it here first. There's a next video
coming soon. Like
I held off because of the stream. They were hyping up the stream, and I was like, "Oh, maybe I should wait. Maybe I should wait."
I like how they were like, "It's going to be very eventful."
Yeah,
eventful.
And stupid me didn't even connect the dots that they were going to be talking about events until like 2 seconds before the stream. I was like, I get it now. Good one.
Gotcha.
I see. Although with all the banners in the background, somebody else tried to call that it was going to involve the login screen, like the login lobby.
I honestly thought it was going to be more information on caravans because of the map and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I did want to talk about was they were mentioning the unlockable tattoos and the potential of it being something that only like a few players can get.
Yes. Kitty. But yeah,
I was trying to share
her. She was all about being interested in the food and running away.
Oh, absolutely. You're saying, sorry.
No, you're good. I just noticed the cattail and got distracted. Welcome to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Where we get distracted by cats.
Yeah, how do you guys feel about some tattoos only being unlockable in game?
That sounds fun.
I think it's fantastic. I really like that. Like, you know, I was thinking how cool would it be if they built in like a limp, and one of the quests you had to go through was going through some kind of battle, and then you got assigned to guard duty afterwards because you took an arrow to the knee. And
yes.
Took an arrow to the knee.
But that would be...
'Tis but a flesh wound.
Yeah. But that would take a lot of work, I'm sure, to build a limp into everybody's different models. But
yeah,
I like the idea of that because you can actually have something on your character at all times rather than, say, a mount that you can earn from going to do something. It's only going to appear when you're like, hey, look at my mount. My mount's really cool, and you have a mount show off.
Especially something that can, like, me personally, I spend, like I mentioned before, hours in a character creator. And to do that and then to go into a game and I get bored so quickly, but now I have something that could be like ever changing and my character gets to progress with me versus, I felt like being a necromancer at the start of this. So I was like this weird, like pale skinned person, but now, he's been in the sun a lot. So now he's like a little like burnt or something like that, got into a fire. So now he has like something like that, that would be very interesting. So like scars and tattoos that you can get. I think that's going to be really something good for replayability for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. I love also just cosmetic things being able to be unlocked in game. That's just one of my favorites. Like, you can only do this if you go unlock it. It's just really
and then
nice.
2 days later it's going to end up in the store for $25. No, that's not going to happen. Obviously he said that a million times, but that's something I've always hated. But this game,
I know
the
exactly
way they're
what you're
doing their
talking
stuff is just so good, man. Maybe I'm just
the one thing that does make me have mixed emotions is they're probably going to be locked to whatever character does that event, which means you can't do that one super mega event and then have it unlocked for everybody, or have like a limited time event and then you have a scar for one character or a tattoo for one character.
Well, no, they're going to have multiple character slots, so you would think they would actually have it unlocked for the account itself, right?
Well, there's been things that people have asked about, like some of the cosmetics you would purchase on the shop, and they're available for one character to redeem. Like the different color, the dyes and whatnot, and some of the outfits, they're one character can claim it. And that one character gets to wear it.
That would suck.
Yeah. I like what Ashes Zanera said. I am all about the character progression. Since some tattoos might affect stats too, I hope we can get new tats that aren't only cosmetic.
That is actually,
and I like that.
A really interesting point. I know some games like did that well. Like Conan Exiles, they did that pretty well.
D&D also has magical tattoos that affect stuff a little bit.
Yeah, I think the way Steven was talking about it is you'd get a tattoo that would like reduce one kind of stat and increase another.
Mm-hmm.
So you could swap out if you're a mage, you could start getting a tattoo that would swap out some strength for intelligence or something.
I'm starting to feel your pain of it only being with one character, because as soon as I see something like that, I'm like, this would be really great for this kind of build.
Yeah.
That would suck.
It's great that was a limited time event and that was on a node that nobody ever wants to open up again because everything else about it sucked except for that tattoo. I could just see that happening, and that would be my luck, that's the one thing I need to complete my character build, a year after that event just doesn't happen again. That would be my luck. But,
if I ever want to know Virtue's stats and dungeon and raiding schedule, just distract Wizzy with the pepper and ask what Simri is planning.
Oh, that tattoo idea is great too. Donkey tattoo.
Yeah. I like it.
So, let's see, where was it? There was one other thing that I thought was really cool, and I need to try to recall what it was. Oh yeah. There was actually two things I thought was really cool that really kind of stood out as, well, that's neat. I like that. And one was that if a siege is declared on a node, a citizen can pack up and leave that node, just drop citizenship and run. But the way that node builds itself up, it could apply penalties for just up and abandoning and running away during a time of siege. I wonder what those penalties could be and what it would circle around to.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I think it's going to depend on the node type, right? Like,
quite possibly.
A merchant, what was it? Economic, that was it. The economic node type, maybe you're going to end up paying some sort of penalty and taxes, something like that. Yeah.
I don't know. Remains to be seen. I just like the fact that that's already been thought of, and there's going to be something that nodes can do to prevent it. But at the same time, if you don't care about that, you just know that node is about to be destroyed and you need to run for your life, you can. Mm-hmm. And whatever I lose, it's better than my place getting raided and all my everything being up for grabs.
I mean, I can see a bunch of PvE players just like, well, I don't want to fight, so I'm going to go. But
yeah.
I mean, that would just suck for that node, especially if half your population is just gone. Well, there goes all your work, right? So yeah, it is pretty cool that they're going to try and do something to prevent it. But at the same time, I can see that really getting some players really mad. I don't want to fight, but now I got to pay all these penalties because I'm leaving you. That sucks.
Well, even the PvE people could go into town and defend it by feeding stuff to NPCs and rebuilding stuff that gets broken down and stuff like that. So
yeah, just a bard on top of the on top of the walls,
singing
just
as hard
playing.
as I can. Oh, that's fantastic. But
that's
another
race I want, not race, but another class I want to play as bard. I think that'd be really interesting.
Well, depending on the bard, they can seem like a whole other race. It could seem like they come from a whole other world.
True.
But the last thing that I thought was really nifty is that there was a question saying, will gliding tier 2 mounts need to sacrifice some stats or capabilities of tier 1 mounts in order to stay relevant? Like a tier 2 gliding mount maybe not being as fast, or not being not having as much endurance or what have you, so that it will still keep tier 1 mounts relevant.
Mm-hmm.
And
I believe he said that wasn't the case, right?
Yeah.
No, actually what he said was, no, tier 1 mounts are going to be relevant. So
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I hate the idea of like mounts, like especially in like a game like ESO, all the mounts, like you could make them different by training them and stuff like that. And I know Ashes was mentioning they're going to have a stable system that can, I don't know if it do something just like that or something different, but I don't like the idea of mounts all being the same. So I think there does need to be differences. Like if a gliding mount isn't as, like you can glide, but it's not going to be as fast. I think that's fair. I think that's definitely fair.
Yeah.
But before I get too much into this, just to let you folks know, I do believe we're going to be wrapping up after this, so we'll do our closing goodbyes and all that afterwards. Going to be raiding over to Captain Redbeard, who used to be known as Super TCG. Yeah, TCG, because trading card game is how I remembered it. Yeah, Super TCG. I don't know if that's what it stands for. I've never asked. I should have asked, but anywho.
Trading card game.
Yeah. Super trading card game. But so the answer that he gave was something along the lines of no, you'll have active mounts. Active mounts are determined by which mount you have in certain slots in a stable. Mounts are applicable in battle, so different tiers of abilities, both vertical and horizontal, are going to exist with different mounts. So you may want to keep some tier 1 mounts because of their capabilities in sieges and battlegrounds and even going into raids or dungeons. You may want to keep a hold of them. And if you lose a mount in battle, you may lose access to it for a certain amount of time, and thus you'll still need a different mount. So if you have a tier 2 mount, take it into battle and it dies, you may not be able to summon that one for another couple of hours, so now you have to go to a tier 1 mount, because that's all you have left in your stable. But yeah, so did you have anything that you would like to share with the class? Any of your socials, any of your projects you have coming up, any video ideas you might be making that you'd like to share before you make it?
Well, I would definitely say go ahead and check out my YouTube. I generally listen to my my feedback on there. So if you want to see a video or a game, I tend to listen to my my people, all my little happy little souls that join in. I definitely listen to them, and if they want to see me play something, come tell me, because I'm definitely I'm all about changing things up and doing things different. So if you want me to try something, I will. And that's the type of channel I run. So if you're interested in that, check me out.
Very nice. I have the raid prepped if you would like me to.
Of Captain Redbeard? Yeah, go ahead and send that through. We'll be a real quick wrap up on this. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. Oh, you first.
Sorry.
You first.
For me, I'm just super excited to see some of the things that they talked about today being implemented, like the AI and stuff like that. It's really cool.
Yeah, it has me
That's
excited
my wrap up.
that they're thinking about that deep of a level. It's fantastic.
Let's go cause a mutiny in Captain Redbeard ship. Well, he's playing Diablo 3, so I'm not sure if we're gonna put too much mutiny on his ship, but perhaps.
Yeah, it was funny. He said he was going to be playing Farming Simulator. I'm disappointed now. I'm not sure we can go raid him at this point. Farming Simulator or bust.
Yeah, you said Ranch Sim. I was going to ask, how is that? But clearly that's not what he's playing.
Maybe that's later. Don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, later. Well, thank you, everybody, for stopping by. We really appreciate your time and your chats and your company. It's been great, as it is every single time. We love you all. You could have been doing anything, including farming your own simulator. Who knows? I don't know. But either way, you have yourselves a happy day, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.